Recall that when we declared variables, we had the data type and the identifier, and we used the assignment operator to initialize the variable I to the value 1. So similar to string literals, this 1 is an integer literal, and a literal is basically the source code representation of a fixed value. So here we have a double literal assigned to the variable d. So in addition to allowing the program to initialize a variable, we can use the assignment operator to change the value stored in a variable. So now I is equal to 2. Now arithmetic expressions include expressions with an integer data type or a double data type. And the arithmetic operators are plus, minus, divide, multiply, and modulo. So you're probably familiar with the first four, but the modulo basically gives the remainder. So for example, 4 divided by 2 gives the whole part of 2, and 4 modulo 2 gives the remainder of 0. So an arithmetic operation that uses two integer values will evaluate to an integer value. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And similarly, an arithmetic operation that uses two double values will evaluate to a double value. So for example, 1 plus 2.1 is 3.1, and then 3.1 minus 3.2 will give minus 0.1, which is another double value. So recall in Java that a double is 64 bits. So you'll notice the output 0.1000 and so on. And here we combine integers with doubles. So in this case, the output will be a double. So what we have is 1 plus 2 will produce an integer. So we have 3 minus 3 plus 4.0. And then 3 minus 3 produces another integer, and then plus 4.0. And then int plus double will output a double. Now if you divide an integer by 0, you'll get a runtime error being an arithmetic exception. So during the execution of a Java program, expressions are evaluated to produce a single value, and during the evaluation, the operands are associated with operators according to operator precedence to determine how they're grouped, and which operators are evaluated first in a complex expression. And to do that, we use PEMDAS, so the parentheses are evaluated first, followed by the exponents, square roots, and so on, and then followed by multiplication and division, which have the same precedence, and then you have addition and subtraction being last. And note that the modulo operator has the same precedence as division. So in our expression, we have multiply, divide, and modulo, which have the same precedence. So we evaluate them from left to right. So what we have is 1 plus 2, and then minus 3 by 4, which is 12. And then we have divided by 5, modulo 6. And now we evaluate the division. So we have 1 plus 2, minus, and then dividing an integer 12 by 5 gives 2. And then we have modulo 6. And then we have 1 plus 2 minus, and 2 modulo 6 is basically 2 divided by 6, and we take the remainder, which is 2. So effectively 2 is equal to 0 multiplied by 6 plus 2, where 2 is the remainder. And now we evaluate addition and subtraction from left to right. So 1 plus 2 is 3, minus 2, which finally gives 1, Please subscribe, like and comment to help me reach more students.